Hey, what's up, you guys, and namaste. Okay, so right as I'm making this video, it's 1:44. Shout out to the 144,000 light workers meant to change the world. If you don't call yourself a light worker, that doesn't really matter. I used to be a light worker. Shamans, starseeds, magicians, witches, whatever you go by, unicorn, dingo baby, whatever you go by. Know that this video, it just past 144. Know that this video, if you are seeing it, you are meant to see it. I just meditated using Shiva Ross's video for about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. It's really good guided meditation for breath work. People call it Wim Hof's, but Ayurvedic breathing. I swear that changed my life. Just breathing every day. I get so happy. I get so joyful to wake up every day just to breathe. I used to wonder why I was so depressed. And then I realized I was never doing anything catering towards actually growing myself, giving myself bioelectric energy. Yet I didn't really know that that was a thing or that I needed any of this for myself. I used to be a video gamer. I used to just play and I play video games now, but more of a strategic pro level kind of thing. Whereas I used to just play and have fun with games. But I would just be in my room, in my house all day long, not getting the sun, not breathing. Cause you ever stand in front of a screen, you're trying to breathe and you forget to breathe, right? Cause it's just a screen, it's just flashing lights, it's giving you dopamine and everything you need, right? So just having the breath is so beautiful. Actually, let me guide you guys through one breath session. We don't got to do three. Video tuned out, but fuck it, let's keep going. Okay, we're going to start with about 20 breaths for this round. Let's go. Feel that energy building, that energy culminating, that static charge, that electricity. If you've ever worked with the Sephiroth, envision the Sephiroth and envision Kether at the top. Envision the wings of the soul as they flap in front of you, giving you energy. Continuous. Three more. Last one, and then as we let go, we hold it. Let's go for about a minute if we can. Hold it for 15. Ah, that's beautiful, guys. Now, we just did one, but the thing is, if you keep doing that day by day, you go for walks, you kind of meditate and breathe, and you really get in tune with your breath, you start to feel this focused, blissful energy in the center of your forehead. It's your third eye. You're giving it energy once, for once. Everybody gets headaches. I know so many people with headaches. The thing is, headaches is just your energy trying to stream through your third eye, and what it does is it gets blocked. So the blockage becomes physical, right? And then that physical blockage, the electricity is trying to jolt through it, our bioelectricity, our kinesthetic force, and just as breath, that's what we're culminating is our bioelectricity, our kinesthetic force. So as we do these exercises, what it does is it clears and removes all that stagnant energy from ourselves. So the more that we breathe, the more that we do these things, we are bettering ourself and our energetic makeup. We are cleansing our body and our mind, using our light, using our soul, using the energy of who we are. Okay, now that as I've given you guys that is just one tool, that is just one key. Let us keep going. So, something that you can do, or actually the main focus and foundation of this video, the main thing that I wanted to give and present is path working and taking the journey of the left-hand path and taking it serious. And I want to say that when you are working with different spirits, energies, it doesn't matter if it's a demon, an angel, you can go insane. And that's because you're not protecting yourself or your energies, and you're not doing a lot of the things correctly. I didn't do them all correctly, but that's why I also give caution and I help people better understand their reality. So, what I recommend that you first do before going into the Qliphoth, even before the Sephiroth, right? Go within and just meditate and look at yourself. Look at who you are. See yourself placed on the image of your mind. What do you look like? What do you like? Who are you? What do you want to do with your life? And that as you go into these things, really ponder yourself, your energies, who you are, and the archetypes that you hold. Because a lot of people want to go straight off working with Belial, right? But his energies are different than yours. So if you're at a different polarity, when you work with Belial, it can be violent because he will be shaking things out of you that you didn't have the will to even see. This is how he makes you stronger, right? So before entering into these systems and working with these different beings, please work with yourself. Stretch, do yoga, meditate, read, write, listen, feel, understand, hear. Be present with yourself, and then become energy. Become what you seek, become what you desire, but first sit still with yourself from where you're at square one if you're at square one, step 3 if you feel right, and just reflect. Ponder on the journey that you've been through. What have you been through? Have you been trauma? Video came back on. That's great. Have you guys been through trauma? Have you guys been through illness? Have you guys been through death? I've been through these things. I let these things reshape me throughout the journey, because that's what I have been through. But I had to reflect on who I was a lot, actually. Before even entering into the Sephiroth, we all make mistakes, right? But some people can make some really fucked mistakes. I didn't. I did here and there, bounced back, but that's also because going into the Qliphoth, I had the right beings. I had the right guides. I had Thoth leading me. I had Apollo leading me. Thoth and Horus have always been with me. Your spirit guides are always with you as well. Work with your spirit guides. Before working with deities and shit, work with your spirit guides. Work with your ancestors. Connect to those energies. Ground them. Connect to your source. First, this is what you need out of anything. Connect to your source. Be your greatest version. From connecting to your source, who you are within, your soul, your psyche, everything that you are trying to liberate and become, connect to that daemon. You won't be able to maybe fully see it or emanate it or this or that, even be able to hear it, right? But you do this so that you plan, so that you prepare yourself, because it's as above, so below. So as you ask for these things that, hey, I'm new to this, I want to initiate, but I don't understand it. As you just say that, things will come to you. Everything will come to you to guide you on your path because you first embraced your source. You first liberated yourself and you chose who you were going to become. You chose the journey. And right now in these moments when you are going into the Sephiroth, the Qliphoth, and you are embracing this journey, this is who you are. This is who you are at your core. You are merely unveiling the reality that is already there. Why is the occult called the occult? Why is it hidden? Why is it secret? Why does the word occult mean secret? Because you are liberating your hidden self. You are liberating yourself with your truths. What does it mean? Or actually, one second. If we have to liberate ourselves to our truths, into our truths, uncover them, then what does that mean about this world? It means that it is a Maya. It is an illusion. So, when we work with beings at a certain point, such as Satan, what does the word Satan mean? It comes from the word Satanama, which means endless truths. So, by working with Satan, you bring yourself into endless truths, a universal knowing of who you are. But if you just do this straight off the bat, you walk up to Satan, you've never invoked anything, and you're just like, give me my endless truths. He will give them to you. He will give them to you. He will strip away everything you thought you were in the moment, and he will just be like, bah, there you go. And you have to sort through that insanity of past lives and emotional baggage and all these things that if you worked with yourself, if you worked with yourself first, you went into the Sephiroth, or you work with yourself, right? You work with yourself to understand yourself, to know yourself, work with your shadow, do shadow work. From doing shadow work, right? You've sorted out your repressed traumas, your all these emotional things that are holding you down. You've cleansed, you've healed, you are healed. So you're not bringing all of this baggage into the Sephiroth, into the Qliphoth, right? Instead, you are just getting it done. You're getting it out of the way so that you can ascend through the different layers as you're meant to, not by casting your illusions into everything. That's what people love to do with magic, with the Sephiroth, with the Qliphoth, is because I'm human and the physical is the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter what I do. I can just do this or do that, but that's not how it works. There's structure to everything. Even chaos, there's structure. So that's what I'm trying to do, is give you guys the structure and the guidance going in so that you make the right decisions, the right opportunities. I'll throw this out there. Don't give blood to any being that just wants it, that just says, "Oh yeah, put your blood in the we're good." Like, instead, what you should do is see what beings are for you, which ones are truly meant for your evolution. Maybe it's Belial, maybe it's Lucifer, maybe it's Hecate, right? And as an offering, honoring those beings, your blood, your life essence, is the most valuable thing that you have. Let me repeat, your life essence is the most valuable thing that you have, right? So don't just give it to any being. I did this. But as well, I went about the procedures to not let it affect me as much as it should have. Because if you give blood to and I also didn't give blood to the wrong beings. I gave blood to a lot of them, but they weren't ones that wanted my harm, right? Because in the Qliphoth, a lot of people want to love the demons. I love my spirits that work with me, but I understand, yo, bro, this is business. This is business. This is a business connection. And I only know that now. I had so much love for them in the beginning. I still do, but I understand, like, tough love is the greatest, is so beautiful. And the thing is, you have to think your way out of the Qliphoth. You have to use your intelligence. It's not just this ritual and that being and, oh, I'm crossing the abyss and I'm done. No, you truly have to think. These demons will test you. They'll say, oh, well, no, they won't do. But they'll say things that you should do that you really shouldn't do at times, right? And that's just like a big brother or a big homie. Hey, walk into the street while the cars are moving. Okay, you're dead, right? Like, why would you do that, right? So it's the same in the spirit realm. We can't just listen to everything. We have to perceive and understand. And I know it's hard, guys, because not everyone has their astral sight and senses. So when they are giving you a message, sometimes you don't know if they actually do want to work with you or love you, right? Well, you do. Like, they truly give you a message. But when you're new, it's hard to determine and define those messages, you know? So some beings that I can say that are for you throughout the Sephiroth and the Qliphoth, right? Because we've worked with ourselves. We got that out of the picture, do shadow work. I'm going to be releasing other videos on imagination, visualization, that's entering in how to use your astral awareness, senses, hearing, all of these things. So I'm going to be giving you guys the foundation. And again, I'll be having videos on my Patreon that will be releasing later this month. It should be done by the end of this month or by the beginning of next month. I've finished a lot of initiations. I did not think that I would finish this lifetime. I've been doing so. Life is beautiful, guys, and this is why I want to give back. You see my videos, you see my consistency. I haven't had that much. I have videos, I have endless articles, I have endless writings. I think of this stuff all of the time. But I was going through the abyss. I was going through the Qliphoth. I was questioning my own, not as of recent, but my own sanity at times months ago. And that's what these tests are for. They are to test you, to see, will you make it? Will you make it? Because not everyone will make it. But if you study this information carefully, if you analyze and understand what I'm saying, if you take these tips and these tools, you will make it. All of this is for the crossing of the abyss. All of this is to create your own reality, to understand that you are on the Qliphoth, you are shelled. I learned that information from different friends, one being Eli, and then also a YouTube channel named Eli Mercury, and then one also a YouTube channel, Universal Mastery. Go check both of them out. I think it's Eli Aaron now, and then Universal Mastery. Really good channels that helped me understand source, that help me understand my purpose and who I am. And that's why I say embrace your own source first. Don't give, a lot of people give their blood because it's a romantic relationship with the demons, but it's not romantic. Don't look at it as romantic. Look at it, yes, they're your friends, they're helping you, but as well, they're high level beings. Don't you think they would have their own gain from this as well? But yeah, you are working hand in hand together in order to fulfill your divine will and true purpose. So something that can get spun out of hand on a lot of things and people don't realize is that, okay, for myself, I'll be honest, I will be deep. At one point I was doing all of these rituals, right? I was invoking Lucifer all the time. I was invoking King Paimon all the time. Belial, Azazel, heavily King Paimon, but also an overarching of Azazel because I was always going into the darker energies with him. I don't really work with him anymore, but I think that we respect each other. And I learned a lot from him, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm thankful for that. But at the same time, and this is a lesson I needed to learn, I don't blame anybody. I'm grateful for Azazel. I'm grateful for these beings for I fuck up because of my own ego. I want these things. I want money. I have no money. I can't do video. Like, you know what I mean? I can't get things out there that I'm supposed to, right? So why aren't these beings giving me these things? And I wasn't greedy, right? I didn't care that much, but I didn't know what I wanted. I get the physical stuff done, and then I'll go all in on the spiritual, get a car, a house, this, that, you know what I mean? And then they reframed me. They showed me that, like, this is the positive. They showed me that that's not what you want. You want spiritual ascension, which I already was focused on ascent, but then it got to a point where I just didn't. Everyone's using demons for abundance to manifest. Why? Hell, like, that must be why they're there. They love helping us and giving us money and giving us a house, right? They do. But at the same time, what you're giving for that exchange is not it's not worth just a fucking car. It's not worth a house or 10K. It's not even worth $1 million fucking dollars. Because if you haven't worked with them and you start to work with them, they put you in the Qliphoth. Oh, you signed a deal? You signed a contract with me. You are now in the Hell Realms. And people don't realize that when you're in the Hell Realm, I used to do so many manifestation rituals trying to manifest right. It does the opposite. Unless you are aligned with your source. I know I'm going in a lot of different ways. But unless you are aligned with your source, you ain't manifesting shit. So when I was under Azazel, I was manifesting a lot. I was doing a lot of insane, trippy things in reality that I hadn't done before, and Azazel really teaches that. He really teaches you how to use the darkness. And I don't mean other videos, but the reason that I say to embrace your source is that when I was working with Azazel, I got lost in the sauce. What's that mean? I was doing a lot of void magic. I was going into the void. I was using the void, but as well, I wasn't just doing it for myself. I was in the name of Azazel. I used the void. He even let me sit at his throne, which is not just an imagination or a visualization you do. Oh, like 30 minutes Azazel's throne. No, I sat at his throne, and when I did that, it was like I saw thousands of years ahead into the future. And then I brought that back for a second and I viewed it, but everything was just running through my mind. And then it's weird because there's another time when I saw Azazel and he actually, for timelines, and again, I'm not saying don't work with him, don't this or that. Just for myself, I was done. I was finished. And that's another thing. You're not dedicated to these beings your whole life. It's just until you learn your lessons. It's until you understand who you are and who you're meant to be and know your power. So I was opening the void. Zazel gave me a sword. Here, I'm gonna pull out the sword just for a second so you guys know what I mean. If you guys understand what I'm talking about, right? For the true trained occultist. I haven't done this in a while. The sword is not physical. You must grasp it with your hand of darkness, with your body of darkness. Okay. And I don't know how the energy feels for certain people. I try to keep it source here. Not Qliphothic. Not as Qliphothic, you know, I keep it balanced. I walk the middle path, so I'm gonna put it back. I felt more just like here, I'm actually gonna manifest it again. I feel like more just visualizing in front of me, and then you just grab it. And then you use this. So okay. I'm gonna do it with my own demonic sword. Okay, I place it back. And this is what visualizing and imagination does. It helps you to conjure imagery. Imagery empowers you, right? I breathe, envision golden light, bring it into my blood. It actually starts to help me with processes. It's the same with the sword of Zazel. It's the same with the sword of Shiva. I as well have the sword of Shiva. But I'm going to pull out my own demonic sword right now. I use the sword to cut away, purify, burn off any energies that are no longer serving me. Any cords that are attached, may they be burnt off and transmuted to my highest source. And then as well, may my enemies be obliterated. Those who would go against me and my source. And then as well, may those who are with me, those who desire to grow, be empowered through these energies. As we all grow and rise into our greatest source, into who we're meant to become. Abracadabra. And as it is, and so it is done. So it is done. Just a small manifestation right there. But, oh, I feel a lot calm. I feel a lot calmer. So, yeah, wow, that was a lot different when I worked with Azazel's sword than working with my sword, because mine's just celestial in nature. His is very dark. And that's something that you achieve when working with beings. Don't just, you can't ask, but don't just ask. Don't ask for familiars unless you desire one for like studying or something like that. They'll give you, in a sense, occult or astral weaponry. They'll give you familiars as you just work with them and you guys become friends. It's just like being friends with me, right? Don't just come up in my fucking Discord or my messages and be like, "Hey, can you do a ritual for me? Can I get a familiar? Can I get a daemon sword? A daemon sword?" No. No, not unless you pay me. or you hit me up and we establish a connection. But as well, I do paid services. So I help people for monetary gain because it costs energy for me to do things for them. You're at this vibration, right? Not lower, but you're at your vibration, right? I'm at my vibration. To get to you, A lot of energy. If you're not doing this shit yourself, a lot of energy. Not really. It's it's yes and no. It depends on truly what it is. But from work, just doing the work, you can make your own familiar. I have a video on it. To the children of Hecate. In that video, I talk about soul transmutation as well. I have a video coming up later on about soul transmutation. You can do these things yourself. Gain the energy, do the work, meditate, and then you have it. You have it. Become your daemon, become your greatest version. Go into the Sephiroth, become an angelic prince. Once you initiate into the Sephiroth through intention, by just, I don't have a picture of it, but by just looking at a picture of the Sephiroth, looking at Metatron's cube, it's pictures, Metatron has it above him. Focus on that, and then as you start to focus on that, you attract it, you invoke it, you magnetize it to yourself, evoking it with your thoughts, invoking it, and bringing it into you. Once you have that into you through doing path workings with it, it's just like yourself. You path worked yourself. Work with yourself for a week, a month, whatever you feel you need. Ground yourself. And once you're grounded, go into the Sephiroth. You will meet the angels. The angels will guide you and show you through the different spheres. There's a different angel for each sphere. Once they show you that sphere, that energy and attribution, study it. I'll have content later on it as well. There's Universal Mastery has content on it. There's other YouTubers, Eli Aaron. There's other Divine Flame as well. There's other YouTubers that have the keys that you need. We're all working, and not everyone's going to be nice or want to help you, but we're all working together. Really, those people that embrace and understand and know their source, they know that we are all working together. And if you guys work with Shiva, or you understand that this is just all a cosmic play, a Tandava, a divine dance, a universe. What is it? What is universe? One song. We are all one song playing out into existence. We are all playing our own vibration, our own melodies, our own frequency. But yet we are all in the span of this cosmic song. And we are all our own individual note, frequency, vibration. So that as we understand that we are all one, but we are all different interpretations of source, it is this unity that makes us want to help each other. It's this unity that makes me want to make videos and help you guys, because as well, it helps me, but I love being able to help people and just better their day. So go into the Sephiroth, you work with the angels, work with the spheres, all these energies, the planets, right? Take them all in, consume them, become them. But we do it from our own source. Why? Because just like when I was talking about the thing with Azazel, some beings will use you. They'll be like, this is what you want, and they will in Voodoo, they call it riding. A spirit will ride you. So Baron Somdi, when you get drunk as fuck, right, and you're just working with the spirit, they will do what they want with you. And the thing is, okay, I'm not trying to give fear to you guys here, but I've heard of rituals in Africa where they will just fucking go crazy. Like after the ritual, some dude has his arm cut off. Shit just happens, and it's like they just let these spirits take them over, and they don't embrace their own source, their true source. And in a sense, this going into possession. No, beings won't fuck with you when you're possessed. Being possessed is one very hard to do. It's advanced invocation. Usually, and if they do, it's because you didn't fucking do enough energetic work to like let out to like not let parasites in, and that's another thing that's really fucking annoying in the occult. If you're not cleansing yourself and banishing, not banishing demons, right? We don't banish demons. We banish the negative energies that would accumulate. We banish fucking archons and low vibrational beings from our space because they're around in the matrix and shit like that. But we make sure our sacred space, our room, wherever we're doing rituals outside, maybe, is purified and cleansed of any random energies so that we know that we're getting that being, that source, Lucifer, Hecate, Thoth, right? Next, okay, so Thoth is a really good being for the Sephiroth because he's also known as the, what is it, the middle pillar? He's known as like the deity of the middle pillar, or all three, I think, but of the middle pillar, Thoth or Hermes. Hermes is the messenger god. So as well, he is what will help you get through the Sephiroth, and then as well as a messenger into the underworld, understand the infernal divine in the underworld, and then once you finish the Sephiroth, take on all those energies, embrace your source. That's not the truest source, right? The truest source of who you are lies behind the Qliphoth. Lies after the abyss. But you will be enlightened to who you are as you walk these paths. It's like a video game. It is literally like a video game. It is just as a simulation. You are in World of Warcraft, Skyrim, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, whatever, right? You're a character. You are going to these beings to be initiated into your journey, the hero's journey. What is that? We look at the wheel of the hero's journey. What's at the bottom in the middle? The abyss. So we're all going through this as a hero, the Heru of our journey. Heru, Horus, hero, all the same. We are the ones that are going about on our journey of our true source, to liberate ourselves, to follow our divine will by embracing our daemon, by embracing our true self, our greatest version, and who we're meant to become. So this is why we walk the path. This is why we walk the journey. I don't give a fuck about insanity. I don't give a fuck about curses. I don't give a fuck who comes against me. I don't give a fuck if I die. I've already died. I'm a person that you can't stop. I am someone that's already died, and I've came back to life to fulfill my will, my divine purpose. This is why, even through suicidal feelings, through depression, endless dark nights of the soul, endless deaths and rebirths, yes, I look like a happy person, but I've been through so much pain and suffering to get me here. I know there's people that even are jealous of me because if they see what I've attained and what I do, but they don't know I had to sacrifice everything. There's people literally just eating junk food, hanging out with their girlfriend, like watching Netflix, doing nothing or something like that, right? Not saying that that's bad, right? But I've had to sacrifice relationships with people, right? I had to break away ties with people that I thought I'd be with for a long time, all because they didn't stick with this. They didn't stick with me or wanting to follow the vision that I see. I'm not going to let anybody drag me down. I've been drugged through the mud so much to the point that I think about my ancestors and how they were slaves, right? But before slaves, they were kings. Or for myself, I'm half African American. I hate African American, but I'm half black and then half Swedish. I don't know what side I am on my black side, but yeah, I'm mixed with that and Swedish, so I'm balanced. I'm balance. I represent balance of light and dark. I am duality. But from being that duality, I've always thought that I've had the right perspective of both sides, because I'm fucking I'm both. And So yeah, I walk this path very seriously and very intensely. Maybe not as intense as I as I did when I was more in the Qliphoth, because it's like energies that feel you can't stop. Like I just I do things. I wake up at 4:30, like not every day, but most days and stuff like that, 4:30 a.m. And then I go to bed at maybe like midnight or like depending on the day, like 9, right? From those times to the end of the day, like when I was in the Qliphoth, I'd be doing music. Wake up 5 hours of music. Wake up, exercise, read, routine, meditate, and it's just like I wasn't off. And now that I've really subsided my energies, I'm not as chaotic, right? I'm more meditative and grounded now. I feel the same energies, right? I still have the same, like, I can move forward, passion to evolve and progress, but I feel subsided and I can anchor it. I used to feel all the time I had to be doing things. I had to be meditating. I had to be doing this. Now I just feel calm and I feel more at peace. And if things arise, like this video, all it did was arise from me thinking, I want to make a video for some people, right? And then I did. And I just let the energies take me where they were meant. I used to force so much. Don't force things. Let it come to you. Don't make contracts and pacts with all these beings and all these demons to get wealth, to grow spiritually, this and that. Just make one pact. If it's with a being, like let it be like Thoth doesn't use blood, so I mean you don't need blood for the Egyptian deities, but you do need like to really hold your word and be there for them as they're there for you. But Lucifer is a good one. Hecate is a good one. Honestly, if you feel really connected to Belial, uh, those beings have not led me astray in a sense. I had to learn lessons. I'm not gonna hate them for that. It's like a parent. Oh, we did that so you'd grow stronger. Oh, okay. That's what all this suffering was for. So yeah, and then you go into the Sephiroth, or from the Sephiroth, and then you go through. You finish the Sephiroth, get up to Kether. You're gonna have to fight Shugar in some way. It's all trials. It's a video game. We live in a video game. Either mental trial or a physical. Like maybe someone physically comes at you. I don't really remember the trial of Shugar. I'm still trying to study, research, analyze, and understand that. Because again, I've went through all of this in my mind to be spit out the other side. We don't realize what we're going through when we're going through it, but the moment we are at the on the other side, at the other end, we're like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? And because we didn't know all of these things that we'd be going through. We didn't know what a trial is, what initiation and all that stuff. So when we come out on the other end, it's as if we went literally through hell in order to just come back to our normal life. But we come back to our normal life with the skills, with the abilities that we gained through our journeys while in the Sephiroth, while in the Qliphoth, because each angel has an ability that they can give to you that you can use. It was in the Sephiroth, working with Thoth and the celestial energies, I learned how to heal, to give people energy. But at the same time, I was only giving people, I was only feeding chaos. Because other people as well are in the Qliphoth. So if you just give Reiki to them, they're just going to go back to eating fucking potato chips and not caring about their own spiritual health. So while we're in, so that's what I've learned in the Sephiroth is how to give energy, how to be angelic, right? An angelic king. You gain your crown there, just like King Paimon, who's known as a demonic prince or king, right? But at the same time, he held status in angelic orders. I forgot the different names and stuff, but he held status in different angelic orders. So when Lucifer chose to descend into the abyss, into nothingness, so did a third of the angels, King Paimon being one of them. So a Sephirothic angel went into the abyss, went into the Qliphoth, and then gained his ranks. And it's just like in one of his lives, forgot where this was posted. I think it was a book I read it in. It might be the Lucifer Compendium by E. Quitting. I don't really I don't really fuck with EA's content anymore. But when he when he left those angelic orders, he became balanced. So he went into his darkness in order to master his darkness, self mastery of that. As well, he reincarnated in one, I think it's like the Roman Empire. And when he reincarnated, this is as well when he gained his ascension in that lifetime that brought him into Paimonius. So the thing is, there's two things. We need to reincarnate in order to grow in levels, in order to understand who we are and who we're meant to become, because who we are is not just locked in this life. It's in our past lives, it's in our past existences, just as our child self. There's so many memories in our child self. Once we unlock it, oh, I went through that, I did that, I loved music, I loved video games, I loved this. We're seeing all the things that made us up. Once we see all the things that made us up, then we're going into our past lives. We're seeing what made it up, what made the life before that. Maybe you lived like 100, right? You can analyze, let's just go with 5. Maybe you lived 5. Analyze those 5 lives, analyze the abilities that you had, who you were, what you did, bring them into this life, integrate them using your source, because the source has never left you. You've never died. In a sense, you're just energy being reshaped and remolded, resculpted with every life. The body is just clay. So if we are a soul or spirit, if we are a spirit encapsulated in clay, or a soul within a biosuit, within clay, if we are not our body, then that means every time we die, all it is just an exchange of energies. It's just stepping out of one car and entering into a new car. When you think that you are the car, you can't get out. But when you know that you are everything in the all, you know when you are the car, but you are not the car, but the car is you or something that you possess under you, then it's from removing your ego. It's by removing our ego that we can understand our past lives, that we can understand the different realities that we can create. Because when you're in your ego, you're just locked into this matrix. You're locked into who you think that you are. You think that you're just in your head. You think that you are just like the brain and just perceiving. But when you start to dissolve your ego and dissolute it, you start to realize that you are the everything and you are the all. And from being that, you start to attract through your own source and magnetize everything that you truly are. And this is what brings signs and synchronicities into your life so that you can better understand yourself. We use these signs and these synchronicities as initiations to push us forward. So the more that you embrace who you're meant to become, you embrace your path and you walk it, as opposed to you stop walking the path in which you did because you realize that was an illusion. Who you were was illusory, was programmed by society, was programmed by everything around you, whether it be your workplace, your school, parents, friends, teachers. All of these things are downloading information into you, but it's not the information that you desire. And this is why they say that enlightenment is unlearning everything that you've been taught. You unlearn everything so that you relearn from your source, from your true self. And then by embracing your true source, your true self, and your divinity, then you start to emanate that. Once emanating it, the universe is refractory, so it will give you what you give it. So if you love yourself, then the universe, the world will love you. So many people are paranoid because they think that the universe is out to get them, not realizing that if you think that, then the universe is now out to get you because you think that. And that's enlightening, because if everything is what I perceive, is what I choose to emanate, then I can control my life. I can control where I'm going by my focus, by my discipline, and what I choose to look at, what I choose to desire, and who I choose to become. So when we strip away our ego and all the illusions of what we desired and what we thought we desired, I'm so thirsty. Stay hydrated. With stay hydrated. Um, with when we replace what we thought we desired with what we desire, our true self, and we peer into our true self through these epiphanies that are giving us downloads, and we take those downloads and we run with it, then we are now living our life in truth. When you are living in truth, you are aligned with your true source. You are aligned with your true will. And then you just do the work. You do the effort to become more and more of it every day. And at some point, you will have dissolved your illusory self. You will have dissolved the ego, and it allows your true self to come out. This is why we go into the Sephiroth. This is why we go into the Qliphoth. You're unifying the Sephirothic energies with the Qliphothic, and you are aligning them to become your true self. Or to become your daemon. Look at the yin yang symbol. That is perfect symbol, an ideology of what it is to be in balance, what it is to be your true source, because it's the dark and the light, but it's also the light in the dark, because it takes darkness to create light. It takes light to create darkness. So we need these dualities, these opposite polarities in a sense to understand each other. In order to understand both aspects, and once we understand both aspects, we unify them, going back into our true source and our original being, and then from that, instead of looking from our eyes, we see from the eyes of the observer. We see from the eyes, you could say, we see from a hawk eye perspective and view, and we can look at the big picture of who we're meant to become instead of just the day-to-day. And if we can see the big picture, this is when we are creating our life and pushing it forward. So what you do today, you will do tomorrow. If you breathe, meditate, do yoga, these are all growing you. Do it today, do it tomorrow. Do the rituals and meditations that you need to in order to become your greatest version, and just continue with the work. And then as you finish the Qliphoth, right, you will be brought into the dragons. Once you start working with dragon energy, this is the original wisdom. The dragons are what taught Hecate. The dragons are what taught Lucifer. Hecate was the first, and I heard this from Mark Allen Smith, Hecate was the first dragon that spawned from the void, which shows she can use void energy. She's a void being, but at the same time, she is celestial in nature, because she emanated from the celestial divine, but as well she has rankings in hell. So from the Qliphoth, she went into to work with the dragons and learned that energy. This is why so many beings can look like a dragon, can shapeshift into a dragon, but they're not a dragon as a first emanation. So what we're doing is going into the Sephiroth, the Qliphoth, to gain these energies, and then we go into our dragon, become the dragon, embrace the dragon and what it is. This is why in video games, what do you have to do to get the gold? You slay the dragon. It's the same with life. You have to not slay the dragon, but embrace the dragon, become the dragon, and then from becoming the dragon, you become your greatest version. What do dragons represent? Wisdom, knowledge, strength, growth, evolution. It's like almost the perfect being as an archetype or a symbolism to understand ourselves. It's a serpent with wings. Once we ascend, you ever see the picture of the caduceus with two wings, right? It's two serpents and then wings at the top. We ascend our kundalini up into our crown chakra, into our wings, so that we are now the flying serpent. We are now a flying dragon. And again, we don't turn into a dragon, but it's all symbolisms. It's all symbols of energy. And then through using those energies, we are creating our life with wisdom, with abundance, strength, and growth. Okay, I think that's going to actually wrap it up. It's been about 55 minutes, 54 minutes. But But beautiful minutes. I hope that you guys learned a lot from this video. I hope that you guys took with it a lot of wisdom. Maybe you even studied to this, meditated, or it's just, podcast on in the background so you can gain some wisdom and information. So this is Occult Cat TV.